I'm going to go ahead and start again. All right, guys. So today I want to talk to you guys about tangram poses. Have anybody ever heard of a tangram pose before? No. Okay. Think. This is what a tangram pose is. Go ahead and pass it along. And I'm going to show you guys up on the board too. Okay, now these tangram pieces, they were invented in China many, many years ago. They are part of ancient Chinese culture. Who knows what ancient means? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Right, because it's real old. And together, these 7 pieces combined, they form a square. And you can make other little shapes. You could make animals or anything you want to with the shapes. They're real fun to play with. And who knows where China is? What continent is China? Go ahead. What continent is China on? Okay, pull out your atlas. Close to the front. You can make the first here. Huh? Go ahead and share with me. Where's your color? What continent is it? Well, let's wait, let everybody find it first. Let's wait 1 second. What page is this? Page 5 on your atlas.
Continent is CH.
Right, exactly. Okay, so China is in Asia. And with these 7 tangram pieces, like I said, together they form a square. And we're going to do an activity. First, we're going to read a book. And we're going to see how this author, Ann Turpin, how she used the tangram pieces in her book. And then after we finish the book, we're going to do an activity. We're going to put together some animals, okay? So you guys can put your atlases away. And I want you guys to come over here on the floor. This is the line. Hi.
See you guys tomorrow, okay? Go sit. Okay, throw it away.
You got room? You want to sit in the chair? Go ahead. No, because you're not going to be able to see. Here, put that up there on the,
Lexi, how did you get on the chair?
oh, I'm sorry, I told you. Thank you, Nicole. Okay. So the book I have, and Miss Mendoza let me borrow, is called Grandfather Tang's Story. And it's a tale told with tangrams. Can you see over there, Carla? What's up?
I heard a story it was called Grandfather's Story.
Oh, really? Did they use the tangrams to tell it? No, it was just a regular. Okay. All right, and our author is Ann Turnpit, and the illustrator is Robert Parker. Now, we were talking about this earlier. Selena, what's the illustrator? What does the illustrator do?
He draws pictures.
Right, exactly. So Robert Parker drew all the pictures to go along with the writing that Ann Turnpit did. Okay. All right, so we're going to look at the back of this. It's going to tell us a little bit about, the story before we read it. And it says, when little Sue asks for a story, Grandfather Tang arranges the tangram pieces, and two magic fox fairies spring to life. The foxes change shapes as quick as a wink, from rabbits to dogs, to squirrel to geese. But their game turns dangerous when a hunter raises a bow. Okay. All right. All right, first page. Go ahead, Paul.
I think I might have done one of those.
What? The tangram?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I think I did that before.
Uh-huh.
I once went to Burger King and or something, and they gave me like those little shapes and pieces.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then I made like a swan or something.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's good. All right. So, we're going to hold the questions 1 second, okay? All right. Grandfather Tang and little Sue were sitting under a peach tree in their backyard. They were amusing each other by making different shapes with their tangram puzzles. Let's do a story about fox fairies, said little Sue. So Grandfather Tang arranged his 7 tangram pieces into a shape of a fox. Then Grandfather Tang made another fox with little Sue's 7 tangram pieces. Little Sue clapped her hands as her grandfather began. So these are the 7 pieces. You see how he changed them into foxes?
Wait, those are two. Wait, how many?
He had a set. He had one set of 7, and then he used his granddaughter's set. So he made 2 foxes. Although Chow and Wu Ling were best friends, they were always trying to outdo each other. One day, this rivalry almost brought their friendship to a tragic end. They were sitting under the favorite willow tree beside a river, talking about their magic powers. I can change myself into a rock as quick as a wink, boasted Wu Ling. I bet you can't do that. I can too, said Chow. Cannot, said Wu Ling. Anyways, actions speak louder than words, and he changed himself into a rabbit. No, one of the foxes. Yeah. Not bad, said Chow, smoothing his whiskers. But watch me do better than that. And before Wu Ling could blink, Chow changed from a fox into a dog. So one changed into a rabbit, the other one changed to a dog.
That's a bulldog.
Yeah, it do look like a bulldog, yeah. All right. Now, when Chu Ling changed himself into a dog, he not only looked like a dog, but he felt like a dog and acted like a dog. He bared his teeth and lashed his tail. Wu Ling shivered and twitched his nose. I love rabbits, Chu growled, and I'm going to get you and gobble you up. The dog edged closer and closer. Wu Ling's eyes grew bigger and bigger. He was too frightened to move at first, but then he thought, I'd be safe if I could climb up the willow tree. His little puff of a tail grew long and bushy, and his tall ears shrunk as Wu Ling transformed himself into a squirrel. So he transformed himself to a squirrel so the dog wouldn't get him. He could get up the tree easier.
I forgot. Wait.
I know it's a lot of change, and they're going to keep changing.
I forget which one. Like, I thought it was going to be a fox, but I forgot those two. Did the grandpa change? Yeah, they keep on changing.
Yeah, they keep on changing. Yeah, so they started off as the foxes. Then one went to a dog, and the other one went to a rabbit. Now the other fox is still a dog, but the other one just changed to a squirrel. Okay. All right. Wu Ling sprang into the willow tree and scrambled to the top. Chu will probably turn himself into a cat so he could climb up here and chase me, Wu Ling said to himself. But he'll never catch me. I'll jump from tree to tree, and he won't be able to follow me. Of course, Chu thought about changing himself into a cat. But that's just what Wu Ling expects me to do, he said to himself. What can I do to surprise him? He thought and thought. I know. I'll swoop down upon him from above. And he turned himself into a hawk. Yeah, bird.
They're gonna eat. They both fox are gonna eat each other, or they're gonna.
Into a hawk. Because now the squirrel in the tree. So now the dog changed to a squirrel.
Why couldn't he just turn into like a bird, a mongoose, and the fox turn into a snake or something?
I don't know. Well, let's keep reading. Let's see what happens. So what? What you say, Diego? A T-Rex. I don't know. Okay. Chow circled around and around in the sky above the willow tree, searching for Wu Ling. Wu Ling peered through the leaves of the tree, looking for Chow on the ground. Round and round, Chu circled the willow tree until he spied Wu Ling. Keep, keep, keep. He streaked as he zoomed down upon the squirrel. Wu Ling trembled. Chow's beak looked sharp enough to pierce right through him. If only I lived in a shell house, he thought, then Chu couldn't hurt me. Chu stuck out his fierce claws to seize Wu Ling, but Wu Ling dove toward the river below the willow tree. As he dove, he tucked his head and tail and legs, turned green, and changed into a
geese.
Yeah, turtle. Good. Good, Dante. Yep, turned into a turtle.
But he's gonna walk slow.
Yeah, he's gonna be slow. Yeah, he definitely gonna be slow. But he might not be a turtle for long. Let's see. Wu Ling climbed up on a mossy rock in the middle of the river. He thought he was safe because he looked as if he were a part of the rock. Chu circled round and round, searching and searching until his sharp eyes spotted the turtle. Then he swooped down towards him. So why was it a good idea for him to change to a turtle?
Because
Go ahead.
you won't get hurt.
Go ahead, Coriana. 1 second, guys. We're going to talk one at a time, okay?
So you can camouflage?
Right, exactly.
Or because he has a strong shell.
Exactly, that's true. What you got, Lexi?
So he can hide so the eagle won't even get him.
Right. And another word for that is camouflage. She was camouflaging herself because the rock that he was on was mossy and it was the same color as the back of his shell.
Like a lizard.
Right, exactly. Okay, so let's continue on. But just as Chu reached him, Wu Ling plunged into the water. Follow me and you'll drown, he cried. Don't worry, cried Chu. Plunged right behind Wu Ling. His body grew longer, covered with scales. He whipped the water with his long wicked tail, and he snapped his spike-toothed jaw as he turned into a crocodile. Yep. Okay. Wu Ling circled round and round as he plunged down to the bottom of the river. Chu lashed his wicked tail as he plunged after Wu Ling. Just as they reached the bottom, Chu clamped Wu Ling in his spike-toothed mouth. Now I've got you, he bellowed through his clenched teeth. Oh, no, you haven't, cried Wu Ling,
I think he's gonna turn
who
to
grew
an
smaller and smaller and changed himself from green to gold as he transformed himself to a goldfish. Good, Dante. Goldfish.
I thought it was a crocodile.
It could have been a shrimp, but I guess a shrimp, I don't think it's gold.
Well,
Yeah.
he could turn to or like those little, like shrimp. Because sometimes shrimps go swim fast.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
A hippo. A hippo wouldn't be able to get through a crocodile's teeth. All right. So now you focus. And he swam out of Chu's mouth between his spiked teeth. Then he hid in a patch of cattails. Chu churned the water with his lashing tail as he charged into the patch after Wu Ling. With his head swinging back and forth and his eyes darting here and there, he searched for Wu Ling. Wu Ling knew that child wouldn't give up until he found him. I must fly from here, he thought. And he started to hump as he transformed himself into a goose. A goose is a bird, though, isn't it, Miss Madonna?
yes.
Yeah.
But wait, can the geese eat fish? I forgot.
All right, we can look that up later. We'll probably check that out. What's
Some
Nick here?
Some birds, they don't fly. Birds, right?
Yeah, some birds don't fly. Yeah.
Like penguins.
Yeah.
And there's some new bird, there's some birds that always have to do like they can't even fly, but it looks like a long
A pigeon.
not a pigeon.
Yeah, I think pigeons fly. Yeah, some birds. Yeah, all birds do not fly.
It's like a little oval and the head sticking out, but it don't have no wings.
Well, yeah, because that's what they need the wings to fly. So yeah, if it doesn't have wings, then it probably won't be able to
It
fly.
don't have no wings.
Okay, let's get back to the story.
No, I'm not talking.
All right. Chu charged after him, but Wu Ling spread his wings and took to the air. Chu watched him fly into a small island where a flock of geese were feeding. By now, he was not only very angry, he was also very hungry. He decided that if he could not catch Wu Ling, any goose would make him a good dinner. He splashed through the water toward the island until he reached it. Honk, 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 called Wu Ling, and he took to the air. A chorus of honks swelled the air as the flock of geese spread their wings to follow him. While Chu watched, the honking grew fainter. The flock grew smaller, and he felt his anger slowly drain away. Why, oh why did we play this stupid game, he moaned. I'll never see Wu Ling again. He closed his eyes and sank toward the river's bottom. Just as he touched it, however, he had an idea. And up he popped again, a goose himself. So now the crocodile, he changed into a goose too so he could go find his friend.
Geese.
Okay.
Was that geese?
Yes, the geese, yeah. But that's the plural. There's more than one. Okay.
I know those are geese.
Yeah. Moments later, Chow was flying after Wu Ling and the other geese. He could hardly see or hear them at first, but he did not let that discourage him. Calling upon every last bit of his strength, he forged ahead. Each flap of his wings brought him closer. The wedge of geese slowly grew bigger. The honking grew louder. At last, Chu found himself flying beside Wu Ling. I'm tired of our silly game, he cried. Come back with me to our willow tree. Before Wu Ling could answer, something stung Chu's right wing. He sank toward the ground. So that's them flying together when he was telling them he was tired of playing the game.
The end.
A hunter had shot him. Wu Ling flew down beside Chu, placed his left wing under Chu's smashed right wing, and together they fluttered down to the edge of the forest. The hunter ran towards them. Fly away, Chu urged Wu Ling. Save yourself. Fly, fly away. I won't desert you, cried Wu Ling. And with a mighty roar, he changed into a lion. Good. So that's the hunter. And he had shot his friend down. So he changed into a lion to do what? To scare the hunter away, right?
Or eat him.
Or eat him. I don't know if he was going to eat him. The hunter raised his bow. Wu Ling sprang toward him and knocked the bow from his hand. The hunter fled, leaving his bow behind. Wu Ling and Chow returned to their fox shapes, and Wu Ling helped Chow to his den, where he took care of him until he was mended.
You didn't show the picture.
Also, the lion did karate.
Look it.
The lion did karate.
Yeah, lion did karate. And they both changed back into foxes after that.
Well, is the fox going to be okay?
Yeah, I think, once his friend helped him, I think he just got stung, because remember it said that he felt the sting. So I think it didn't hurt him that bad, but he probably could have hurt him if Wu Ling wouldn't have changed into the lion, Okay. Did they ever play the game again, asked Little Sue. No. Many times, said her grandfather, but they were very, very careful. That was a good story, said Little Sue. Let's do another. Grandfather arranged his 7 tangram pieces. Is this story going to be about a man, asked Little Sue. Yes, said her grandfather. He's old and he's tired. He wants to sit under the tree and rest a while. Is he a grandfather like you, asked Little Sue. Yes, said her grandfather. Just like me. Little Sue arranged the 7 pieces of her tangram beside her grandfather. So then they made another one. Made it look like 2 people.
That's true. 2 people on a tree.
Mm-hmm.
If you take this away, the triangle away, it looks like a T.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I said, with the pieces, you can make a lot of different shapes with those pieces.
And you can make a letter.
Mm-hmm. Is that a little girl, he asked. Yes, said Little Sue, just like me. She'll sit and rest beside the man. That will make him very happy, said Grandfather Tang. And now, Little Sue, what will we do? We'll sit here and rest together until Mother calls us for supper, said Little Sue. That will make me very happy, said her grandfather. The end. What you got to do? The girl has a mustache?
No.
Where? Wait a minute. That's her lip. Yeah, that's just the way the illustrator drew it.
He has a mustache.
Yeah, the grandfather has one. Yeah, and he got a beard.
What if he has a hairy thing?
Yeah.
The girl looks
No, he'll be real hairy.
Yeah.
Okay, so now do we see how the author, how she used the tangram pieces?
Yes.
All right. Okay, let's go back to our desk. We are. Okay. So first, before we start to play with our tangram pieces, we need to know what the pieces are. So we'll know how to talk about them. So we're just going to say, oh, no, that big piece or that small piece. So we have 2 large triangles, right? Two large triangles. We have 1 medium triangle. We have two small triangles. We have a square. And we have one. Anybody know what this is? It's a parallelogram, but it is a rhombus. Good.
It doesn't have anything to say.
Who said this is a rhombus? You said rhombus too? What are the properties of a rhombus? What makes a rhombus a rhombus?
A square.
It's a parallelogram, right?
One. You can see the map.
Oh. And is that too low? Can you guys see down here? And the parallelogram is, the rhombus, it's a parallelogram just like the square is, but it has a slant to it, it has a lane. So, we have all four sides are going to be the same length in order for something to be a rhombus. Okay? All four sides. All four sides equal. Matter of fact, take out a piece of paper and pencil. We're going to jump into that. Raise your hand when you're ready. Yeah. You ready? You ready? Huh? You don't have a piece of paper? Anybody else need a piece of paper? Okay, so let's write down. Let's start with rhombus. A rhombus is a parallelogram, and all four sides are equal.
A square has all.
Yeah. And what's another property or characteristic of a rhombus?
Two triangles can make a
rectangle?
That's true. Not what I'm looking for. Anybody else? Any guesses? What else? What is another characteristic, or what is something else that you can tell me about a rhombus? Peter? No. I heard them say okay, well, opposite sides are parallel. And what does it mean to be parallel? They run right. It's like, right, they never cross. So opposite sides are parallel. Okay, let's go to the square. What can we say about a square?
All the sides are all the same length.
It's a parallelogram, right?
And all the sides are equal.
Right.
It has 4 vertices.
Yeah.
It has 4 vertices.
It has 4 sides.
4 vertices.
It has 4 vertices, yeah. And
Right. 4
what?
right angles.
4 right angles, right, good. Four right angles. Okay. What else do I got? And if it's a right angle, how many degrees is it?
9.
90, good. 90. If it's a right angle, it has to be 90 degrees. Okay, everybody good with rhombus and square?
2 square makes a rectangle.
You still right?
2 squares makes a rectangle.
Four right angles, 4 sides. It's a parallelogram. All vertices are 90 degrees. Okay, let's move on to the triangles. Now, do you guys know the different kind of triangles there are?
Large, big, and small.
Yeah,
Small
correct.
triangles are small, and 2 small.
1 second. Raise your hand. Okay, you ready? Huh? No. Gretchen? Good. Yeah. We have 3 different kinds of triangles. We have
Equilateral,
isosceles,
equilateral,
equilateral,
and isosceles.
and scalene.
And 2 small triangles makes 1.
Okay, isosceles is what we're dealing with now. We have 2 sides that are the same.
No.
Isosceles, you're going to have 2 sides that are going to be what?
Isosceles.
Equal. 2 sides that are going to be equal. 2 equal sides. And this bottom is what we call a base. And the base might be a different length. So if one side measures, let's just say 4 centimeters, the other side has to be 4 centimeters in order for it to be isosceles. Now, to be an equilateral,
It has to be all the same.
exactly. So the 2 sides and the base all have to be 4 if it's equilateral. And what about scaling?
It's nothing in common.
Right, nothing in common. None of the sides are the same. So we can have one short, one real long one, and we can have one that might be like that. So it doesn't, no sides are equal. So this one could measure, huh?
That looks like a sausage.
No, it doesn't. This one like an isosceles?
No.
No.
It's
They don't look the same. Scalene, one side could measure 10 centimeters, the other one could measure 7, and another one could measure 3. It's still a triangle, but it's a scaling triangle. Okay. All right. So now with that, since we know what kind of shapes we have, we are going to make some of the animals that were talked about in the book. So what was one of the animals? You guys remember? A rabbit?
a fox,
A fox?
crocodile,
A rabbit?
a lion, cheetah,
I heard a lion.
turtle,
Turtle?
a hawk,
Hawk?
squirrel,
Squirrel?
dog, rat,
A dog?
a goose,
A goldfish?
a goose.
Yeah, goose. Well, I was great, right? Goldfish. Wait, let me- No, we're just gonna do the animals. Okay, so I got fox, rabbit, dog, squirrel,
It's a thing.
hawk, the turtle, the crocodile, the goldfish, goose, which I did hear somebody say. Yeah, I heard it. And the lion, okay. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll just let this stay like that. So I'm going to give each group, I'm going to start you out with one animal. No, we're not going to, we're going to use the finger.
Oh, we got the rabbit. I did it. Awesome. Huh? We got the rabbit. I wish we got the crocodile body. First time we'll be
So each group is going to get 7 pieces. 1 second. If you're talking, you're not going to be able to know what to do. Okay, so each group is going to get 1 packet of the kangaroo pieces. We're not going to rip them. We're not going to argue about who's touching a piece and who didn't touch a piece. Everybody is going to get a chance to place one of the pieces. If you don't get a chance to place one of the pieces in the first round, it is more animals that we're going to put together, so you have a chance to do it on the second. Yeah. And what you guys have to remember when doing this, before you start, before you open them, Carly, you are going to have to, when somebody has a piece and is ready to place it, when somebody has a piece and is about to place it, you have to tell your group partner to rotate it. You have to let them know if they have to flip it, and if it goes above or below, maybe the square. You have to, I want you guys to use the type of vocabulary, and actually I'm going to write it up here to keep in mind, okay? So we want to be able to use words like I said, like flip, rotate, above, below, And you guys can go ahead and start. If you guys open it up and you don't have 7 pieces in there, let me know, okay? Yeah, you can look at it. No, we're not doing it well. 1 second. Wait a minute. I might let you do it.
Miss Nicole has something she wants to tell you.
Yes.
Now we're running to the bathroom while they're
Okay. Huh? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And I spelled rhombus wrong. I forgot to use it. Nicole, let me know. Thank you. Okay, go ahead and. Anybody else finished?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second, and the glue is gonna come around, okay, so let me keep it just like that, but you got it. Okay. Okay. We're gonna hold 1 second and we're gonna wait until the glue is gonna come around, okay? You got a card?
Nobody likes the old fashioned way. My mommy said that
I had enough extra pieces, so I was gonna let them glue these. Do you have these 2 blue ones? These don't
Yeah,
have
they're right there. Yeah, but those word.
So put those words away, here.
Well, we're only gonna have those. Don't you can't get the top of those these?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this is what we're gonna do.
Can I put my finger inside there? Let me put the session on.
You're not even doing it.
I know it's hard.
She always hits my other sister. You gotta talk to
Then you guys could, take turns.
I had one and then I had to do the other one. Where's the big one? The big one was the mine. The small was the channel. Yeah, where's the big one? Yeah, finished. Hers longer than this one. Somehow messed up in the face,
My sister. Yeah, my little sister.
Okay, now, you guys want to do that. What we're not going to do this time. Not going to do nothing yet. Just keep that on your desk for right now. Yeah, wash your hands. We're not going to do this. Yeah.
Take it all the way to 11.
Okay.
Do you have anything else? We're trying to keep the ladies
Yeah, Legos cost more money than that. And my
Yep, it's called.
What, dogs? Walmart, they cost like a lot. It's like $2. There's even a
let's lower our voices, please.
trying to get that's fine.
We shouldn't be out of our seats unless we're washing our hands.
Here you go. Guys, I have so much work. You guys all get
Yeah, when you pass.
April,
Yeah. She did? Okay. But we're not going to use glue the second time, okay? So I'm going to collect these.
Wait, these?
For 1 second, Carlos, I'm going to let you, well, it was only the two, honey. It was just these two. And I'll let you